All right, everyone. So, an article from IGN headline: Battlefield 6 now extremely likely to beat Call of Duty Black Ops 7 as the best selling game of 2025 in the US. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 launched last month to become the best selling game of November in the US by dollar sales. It's both a huge sales feat and a common Call of Duty W, as the franchise has topped the charts in its launch month every year for 18 straight years. However, it looks like its rival Battlefield 6 will reign at the top of the US sales chart at year's end. This comes from Circana's monthly report, which has Black Ops 7 debuting as the best selling game of November and the seventh best selling game of the year to date, behind Battlefield 6, NBA 2K26, Monster Hunter Wilds, Borderlands 4, EA Sports College Football 26, and Madden NFL 26. All those games have a few more months on the market on Call of Duty, but it's still a lot of ground to make up in a single month, and Call of Duty is at a bit of a disadvantage. The game launched in the Game Pass, meaning its actual dollar sales on Xbox consoles are much lower than that of its rivals, as people use the subscription service to access it instead, and there's no good recent data on how Call of Duty's presence on service impacts subscriptions. It is worth noting, though, that Black Ops 7 doesn't seem to be doing as well as Black Ops 6, a fact that's reflected in everything from critical review scores to fan response to European sales figures to Activision's own admissions. Circana reports that the Call of Duty franchise saw a double-digit dollar sales decline compared to November of 2024, and Circana senior director Matt Piscatelli tells me that the November full game dollar sales of Black Ops 7 finished below those of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 last November, with Call of Duty Black Ops 6 launching in the October 2024 tracking period. It is Piscatelli's projection that Battlefield 6 is extremely likely to finish as the best-selling game of 2025 in the US. This would not be the only time Call of Duty didn't top the annual charts in recent memory. In 2023, Hogwarts Legacy defeated Modern Warfare 3, and that was with Modern Warfare 3 not launching into Game Pass. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit, right? Number one, the first thing here is we've now seen that Game Pass isn't enough, right? Because it didn't do as well as Black Ops 6. So this all can't be put on Game Pass. Now you can make the argument maybe more people chose to use Game Pass to get this game. Okay, I get it. But we've seen since Activision itself basically admitting this hasn't lived up to what we want, right? And they've kind of talked about what they're going to make changes going forward and all of this. But I think it's important to understand that everything that happened with Black Ops 7, take out the campaign, because the campaign, everybody agrees, is a disaster. I've played a lot of the online multiplayer. I don't hate it at all. I've had a lot of fun with the multiplayer. But the game's multiplayer is not as bad as some may have you believe. But that's not an argument in favor of the people making Call of Duty right now. This is not an argument in favor of Activision. That's an argument against them. Because the truth is, people are tired of the company. They're tired of the series and the way it's been. And you can't do this thing where you constantly kind of in from a fan's perspective, right? Basically show that you don't really care what they think about it and you're going to go in your own direction with it. And that's what we're seeing, right? I've said time and time again that the reason Battlefield 6 is as successful as it is because Battlefield 6 gets back to the formula that everybody likes about Battlefield. It is a Battlefield game through and through. They added in a battle royale, which I think is super fun as well, but the drawing portion of it is the sorry, I had a little cough there, is that initial multiplayer gameplay. And it is a love letter to Battlefield fans. That's what Battlefield fans want. That's what they got. The problem with Call of Duty is everybody knows that I don't think Black Ops 7 is a bad game. I could play it for hours and hours on end. I'm having a ton of fun with it. But if I look back at the packages we got with World at War or Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 3 or Black Ops 1 or Call of Duty 4, how is it that games decades old at this point, right? Or I guess decade old. Or, and even maybe a little, what was Call of Duty 4? Like late to like right before 2010, like 2008 or so. Maybe it's a little bit later, a little bit earlier, not sure, but around there. Listen, that's how is it we're in 2025, soon to be in 2026, and you have those games that are over a decade old that gave us more. That just shouldn't be the case, right? That just shouldn't be the case. And that's where people are frustrated. It's not about whether or not the game's multiplayer is good. It's, is this a love letter to Call of Duty fans? Is this what Call of Duty fans want? And of course, the answer to that has been proven to be no. And how do they fix this? It's not crazy. If they want to have the success that Battlefield 6 has had, listen to your fan base. And it's not always the case that, fans are 100% right. Sometimes the mob is wrong. But in this case, they are correct. And I brought this up almost every video we've done on this channel where the, the truth of the matter is that you know, you have a situation where if I watch a retrospective or go back and play World at War, for example, and see the level of detail from the campaign to the multiplayer all the way through that that game had compared to Black Ops 7, they don't even feel like they're in the same universe. One feels way more like, yeah, okay, we're going to mail it in. The other one feels like we're going to go above and beyond. And look, the campaign, right? If the campaign was garbage and everything about the multiplayer was perfect, people wouldn't be quite as mad. But the fact they were able to deliver both back in the day with less technology, with I mean, think about it. World at War had 3 kill streaks. That's it. It had your recon plane, it had your napalm, and it had dogs, and that's it. And somehow 3 kill streaks beat everything we have now. There was no gunsmith. There was none of that. You could put attachments, but there was nothing of the sort, and yet somehow it was more fun. There was no battle pass. There was none of that. You could prestige, but how is it that back then it was better or it felt better than the product we have today? And that's what Activision and everybody that makes Call of Duty, right? All of the studios, that's what they have to grapple with is how do we get back to that? What do we need to do? And if it means, you have to go ahead and remaster one of the old ones again and just to give yourself a year to get things going, then do it. But at the end of the day, get back there because we want a world in which Call of Duty is successful and thriving. And I understand from a standpoint of sales, okay, it's among the top ones, okay, and it didn't not sell anything, right? But you don't want to be in the same world as a Madden because Madden has literally carbon copy problems of the you go back, you look at Madden 2005, what do you get? A better product than Madden NFL 26. That should never happen, and it's happening there. And the same things are happening with Call of Duty. And so I hope they could fix it. I hope they find out, a way out of this because I want to go on YouTube. I say this in every video as well. I want to go on YouTube and see people saying, "Oh, I loved Call of Duty. It's so great this year." That's what I really want. I don't want to go on, YouTube and every video I watch is negative about Call of Duty. And when I watch them, sometimes I'm trying to be a little bit of a defender of it, right? But then I watch and I go, well, there's not much I can really nitpick here because even if I'm having fun, the person is objectively right on some of the concerns that they had. So thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.